Welcome to the Weekly Roar, coming live from the Lion's Den, helping new managers become great leaders and awesome bosses. And now, here's your host, Greg Storch.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Lion's Den. This is the Weekly Roar. It's that time again for us to continue my latest series called Effective Thinking, Your Pathway to Success. Today, I'll be speaking about another skill we can develop to help us become more effective thinkers. Now, this one is about how if we believe in solutions, we can accomplish tasks that would normally appear to be impossible. It's not a superpower, and I'm going to tell you all about this way of thinking in just a second. But first, welcome, everyone. I'm Greg Storch. I'm the owner of Lion Enterprise, a leadership development and coaching business, and the founder of a worldwide bartered coaching program called The Helping Hand. I'm a certified professional leadership coach and a certified leadership speaker and trainer. Now, last week, we came together in the Lion's Den and I spoke about how we can enlist the aid of strategic thinking, not just in our professional lives, but also in our personal lives too. I shared a few reasons why you might want to consider using this way of thinking, and then I shared some tips on how you can get better at doing it. Remember, spend some time making an assessment of where you are with these skills on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as your engagement in these types of thinking goes. Once you make the assessment, think about what actions you need to take that will move you from where you currently rate yourself to just moving one more number closer to 10. Now, a lot of times when I have clients do that, they aren't exactly sure what actions they need to take to move forward. If you aren't sure what actions you might need to take, let's connect after this and just talk about how my coaching might help you get unstuck. And by the way, just so you know, you can book a free 30-minute discovery call with me to find out what coaching is like and whether or not we would be a good match to work together. Think of it as test driving a new car. Now, the link to my schedule is right here below. Go ahead and write it down. Come on, you know you're curious. Okay, so just one last reminder before we jump into today's topic. If you weren't able to join us last Wednesday for the Weekly Roar, or if you just want to catch up and watch that session over again, you can access my free video resources on my website at lion-enterprise.com. Click on the Lion's Pride Library menu at the top of the home page and go find video number 117 for last week's video. Man, there are already 2 volumes worth of videos under that link. So while you're in the Lion's Pride Library, make sure you look around and stay a while. It's a free resource and it's a great way for you to get more of the roar. Okay, it's go time. Today's episode is called How to Make the Impossible Possible. If you want to accomplish tasks that seem impossible, it's going to require a new way of thinking and some intentionality. Possibility thinking is when we open our perspective to entertain new possibilities that have previously been beyond our grasp. Now, that might be the case because of our current worldview, or maybe because of the experiences we've had, or just because we simply can't comprehend it right now. The challenge we face is that most of our minds don't think like that without conscious intention. When we aren't aware of our mindset, our minds have the unconscious tendency to engage in probability thinking that actually limits our perspective, and that keeps new possibilities from ever emerging. Probability thinking goes like this. Whenever we start to conceive a vision that we feel might be a significant stretch for us, as a vision should be, our ego automatically and unconsciously runs a background check on us. It performs this statistical analysis on the probability or how likely it is that we can actually achieve it. Sometimes we call it a reality check, right? Well, here's the limitation with that whole scenario. Our ego accesses our historical files, so to speak, and it makes that analysis based on what we've already achieved in the past. What was possible back then for us. It's what I call a rear view mirror perspective that actually lowers the bar on what's possible right here, right now. When we aim to achieve breakthrough results, the whole idea is to raise the bar, to expand our concept of what is possible. We achieve that when we're forward thinking, and I call that the windshield view of the world. Yeah, Joel Osteen said it best when he said, the reason the windshield's so large and the rear view mirror is so small is because what's happened in our past is not near as important as what's happening in our future. Now, I don't mean to give your ego a bad rap. Our ego's prime directive is to keep us safe and encourage us to operate in our comfort zone where everything is known and predictable. It's so comfortable there. But in order to engage in possibility thinking so we can expand our beliefs about what's possible, we have to hush our egos and temporarily disengage its safety-seeking risk analysis. I think that might be what my friend Sean Douglas means when he says, hush the inner bully. When it comes to engaging in possibility thinking, our egos can be kind of like that inner bully. So remember, from the ego's perspective and rationalization, analyzing the probability of success is a smart thing to do. And that's what creates our biggest challenge here when we want to think big or go home. If we allow our egos to take charge, we'd all be going home. Now, the minute we start to think about our big visions, our ego starts screaming that we're venturing into la la land or stepping outside of reality into fantasies that aren't achievable. It's kind of like that robot on Lost in Space screaming, "Danger, Will Robinson." So whether creating a new vision for your organization, your team, or even for yourself, or even if you're just identifying the breakthroughs that you need to achieve those visions, you can't allow your current and past realities and capabilities limit your thinking. Of course, the ego has good intentions in its reality testing tendencies, but it's not a good thing when we're trying to engage in visioning. Think about this. Imagine if Nelson Mandela or John F. Kennedy had listened to their egos when they pursued their visions of freedom and walking on the moon. Their ability to abandon their ego and engage in possibility thinking resulted in their greatest achievements for all mankind. So for those of us who wish to be visionary leaders and make a significant difference in the world, our first personal breakthrough is right here within us. We have to be mindful of and move past our ego's ability to limit our perspective. We have to open our minds to new possibilities and actually operate from our higher self. And this is where new possibilities get befriended. Still not convinced how possibility thinking can help you? Then let me share a few reasons how it can help. First, when we develop the ability to engage in possibility thinking, it helps us to be better than average. Now, I've already mentioned Nelson Mandela and JFK, but there are plenty of other examples where someone's ability to engage in possibility thinking helped them to rise above average. Henry Ford imagined a world with motorized vehicles, and Thomas Edison saw the possibilities in creating a light source other than candles and oil lamps. All of these innovations happened because they didn't listen to their egos and allowed their minds to explore the possibilities, the what ifs. Another way that possibility thinking helps us is that it allows us to dream bigger. And when we dream big, we can achieve big things. When we embrace possibility thinking, we allow ourselves to be creative and to be forward thinking, optimistic. It allows our dreams to grow from a small idea to mountain size. By believing in the possibilities, you can put yourself in a position to achieve the things you dream about. Now, the last thing I wanted to share with you on how possibility thinking can help us is that it helps us develop a feeling of hope and helps us stop from just giving up. You see, possibility thinkers believe they can succeed. They have this I can and I will attitude. One of my favorite quotes from Henry Ford is, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Well, people who engage in possibility thinking are the ones who think they can. And when we cultivate that kind of a mindset, we just don't give up. All right, so those are just a few ways that possibility thinking can help us. So if you want possibility thinking to work for you, then here are some suggestions on how you can get started. Now, first, shift your focus. You have to start focusing on what's possible and stop thinking in terms of what's impossible. I know it isn't an easy thing to do. As you start this practice of possibility thinking, you may have to coach yourself through negative thinking. When you catch yourself paying attention to the things that could go wrong or the reasons why something might not work, catch yourself and try to shift your focus to all the things that could go right. That should get you started here with shifting your focus. Now, the second thing you can start doing to develop possibility thinking is to make an effort to avoid negative people. I've talked many times on the importance of who we surround ourselves with, and negative people, well, they might be disguised as experts. Those people who think they know it all and want to poke holes in every idea you have. Well, possibility thinkers tend not to dismiss things as impossible. If you want to achieve big dreams or create big visions, give yourself permission to believe that it's possible, despite what the so-called experts might say about it. The third thing you can do to start developing your possibility thinking is to dream big. That's right. Dream bigger than you're dreaming right now. A lot of people just dream on a small scale. They don't think big enough. Now, possibility thinkers stretch themselves and dream bigger. Push yourself to expand your dreaming and to imagine things just one size bigger than they are right now. Imagine your company one size bigger, or your goals one step beyond where you're comfortable. These things will cause you to grow. And when we do that, we set ourselves up to believe in greater possibilities. So go ahead and dream bigger. Now, speaking of the comfort zone and stretching, that's the fourth thing you can do to get possibility thinking to start working for you. Challenge the status quo. I'm sure you understand that you can't improve by staying the same. James Allen told us in As a Man Thinketh that men are anxious to improve their circumstances, but are unwilling to improve themselves. They therefore remain bound. If you want your life to keep improving, you won't be able to value peace and stability at the same time. Growth means change, and change means that we have to challenge the status quo. Possibility thinkers get challenged by people who want you to give up your dream and maintain the status quo. But if you want to become better at possibility thinking, you'll have to refuse to accept the as is and embrace the what ifs. So there are 4 things you can start working on right now to help foster possibility thinking. Remember, shift your focus from the impossible to the possible. Avoid negative people, even if they show up as experts. Dream one size bigger tomorrow than you did today. And always, always challenge the status quo and ask yourself, what if I did? So call it what you want. Possibility thinking, the will to succeed, belief in yourself, or plain old power of positive thinking. Whatever you want to call it, remember this one thing. People who believe that they can't, don't. But if you believe you can, you can. And that, my friend, is the power of possibility thinking. Okay, everyone, there you have it. There's the 6th skill you can assess to improve and become a more effective thinker. For your assessment on possibility thinking, just ask yourself this simple question. What are some of the ways I can use my enthusiasm for possibility thinking to find solutions for the things that appear to be impossible? Go ahead and do your assessment on this one and see where you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, and then ask yourself, what action do I need to take to move one number closer to 10 from where I am right now? Okay, now next week, I'm going to talk about the benefits that we can gain by simply using this style of thinking to reflect on past situations to gain greater understanding. If you want to hear more about how to explore reflective thinking in your life, then just come on back to the Lion's Den and tune into the Weekly Roar next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay, thanks everybody for supporting me and watching the Weekly Roar today. I appreciate you, and I love reading all the comments and watching all the dialogue happen. I'm glad to have you here. And until we meet again next Wednesday, remember, be powerful, but stay poised just like a lion. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for watching the Weekly Roar live event at lionenterprise.com. If you enjoyed this video, please tell others to join us each week here in the Lion's Den. Thanks again, and see you next week.